Welcome to Align Trading. Hopefully, everyone is having a good weekend. Just going to take a quick look at Friday's recap before going over what to be watching next week and a little bit into the end of the month. So, first thing that I explained in the pre-market brief for Discord members on Friday was to be watching for the blue and yellow continuation, which we have seen this entire week. I will get to that in a minute. But from there, I also explained you have to be understanding that we are in the purple buying continuation, and unless we form an inverse cup, right, at this level, and from here want to head down, once again closing the inverse cup here, then we can start to head down, breaking out of this green right here, and you see that we were never able to break out of the green. We came close, but once again, we are still within this green algorithm and the purple buying continuation that you can see right here. Now with this blue and yellow, you can see the controlled selling right here, and within that we have this blue. Now you see the inverse head and shoulder right here, and you can also see this nested one, but that is that continuation right there with the purple, and we are forming once again this blue and yellow controlled selling here at the end of the day. Like I've been explaining this entire week, these blue and yellow controlled selling algorithms are in control. And if you go down here, you once again see the blue and yellow right here, the controlled selling with that, and we continue pushing higher right throughout this entire week, and we never once have a reason to head down, and we just are continuously moving up within this purple and seeing that blue and yellow controlled selling. But you can see right here, right, we are within this same purple buying continuation the entire week. Now, what I mean by there was no reason to head down this entire week if you kept trying to short it, like I explained on Friday, you need to see an inverse cup or a head and shoulder, something like this, to start breaking down with the green right here and this white as well. And you can see that that does not happen. We never get that dump, and instead you see this inverse head and shoulder, which we break out of the white. If I go down here, you will see the same thing, right? So we are, if you're looking for this, you need to see this inverse cup, and from there, right, we can head down, see a head and a shoulder, but we continue moving higher, and you see how the yellow and blue starts forming these right here on the way up to continue pushing higher. The other thing that you had to pay attention to this week as well is at points like this, right, we needed to lose the 5 and 20-day moving average. So if we formed a resistance below them and continued grabbing this liquidity on the way down, well, then this short right here could not be over. But you see how instead we never are forming that, and we start to actually head back up, grabbing this shoulder right here and trying to form this cup. So going into next week, right, if we are looking for something like this, or if we continue just pushing higher up to these levels and do not see any selling until then, well, then you have to be paying attention to that, as we can do this and continue completing this cup on the way up. Now from here, downside is not out of the cards, as we do have this level right here, this 555, which we were looking to reach there, and we finally got it on Friday. Now, if we do start to see that selling, right, well, let's see it start to grab this liquidity on the way down. Say that if there was to be a big sell-off heading into next week, well, we need to lose these two moving averages. Otherwise, there could be a deeper pullback to them, and we could start to form something like this. What you also have to pay attention to is this Friday, Powell will be speaking at Jackson Hole and possibly giving some remarks alluding to a rate cut or not, and the market will be looking for that. So say we do have that pullback, right, and all of a sudden we get that catalyst on Friday, well, then we could start having that move up, or say we are heading down, we'll possibly lose the moving averages and we can start dumping from there. Now, obviously, that would be a very large move to just lose that all in 1 week, so I'm not necessarily saying that, but into next week, you have to understand that Nvidia earnings are on the 28th as well. So possible things coming up that can start to set a direction. So to give more insight to what I'm saying there on the 30-minute, if you look on the daily, right, we are at this level right here. And if we do want to see a possible pullback right here, that is fine down to these moving averages. You can see when we have the 5 back above the 20, we are in an uptrend, and our target will be this upper Bollinger, and from there 5-day upper Bollinger as we continue moving higher. Once again, the retest of the 5 and 20 upper Bollinger. So if this upper Bollinger does come before the pullback, or if there is no pullback, you have to just understand that as long as this 5-day continues trending up, as well as the upper Bollinger, but this will be the first target. Now, last week I had been mentioning to pay attention to how we were rising, but the volume was declining. And if there was going to be a possible sell off, that could be an indicator. But you see this volume picking back up right here, and volume alone is not enough to trade off of, obviously. And there was no reasons intraday to be trying to continually short this. And same thing goes for now. Just because we are at this level does not mean you have to short it. You would have been getting burned on this entire way up if you kept trying to short this, whether it was longer term or it was intraday. You had to understand that blue and yellow on the way up that you can see right here. And there was nothing to ever say that we were going to head back down. We never formed this head and shoulder. Once again, right here, we never formed this. So if we do form this on Monday, okay, then you can pay attention to that. Watch for that inverse cup to close. Watch for this. And if there is a pullback like that, and even within this pullback, it still can be controlled selling right here. And you do have to understand that if we do build liquidity right here, that we can continue and grab it up here, breaking out of that 555. Same thing here on the daily chart. If we do want to head back down from here, first thing is going to be losing these 5 and 20-day moving averages before you start looking longer term, right? You see how we are in the uptrend right here. 5-day is moving up with this Bollinger. Once we lose the 5 and 20, this 5 crosses back below the 20. You can see that there is this downtrend. And then from there, we retest the 5 and 20 as if we are moving up right here. And from there, we get that second confirmation that we are heading down. So just some things to be paying attention to heading into next week. It has been a bit of a different environment with this move up right here and just the blue and yellow algorithms in control. You can see that there is not much of a pullback and nothing to really get a good entry in on for a larger move, right? We had this gap up right here, and from here, once again, no pullback. We just see the continuation, right? Limited pullback right here as well. You had to see it. And same thing down here. It has just been continuously grinding higher, right? We never get a deeper pullback or anything like that. That'll wrap up the video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see members in the morning. Thank you guys.